Okay guys, so now we're gonna go over scripts for success, words that win. So we've talked about a little bit about healthy habits for schedules, what works, what doesn't work, being able to stay on task so that way you can succeed. We also talked about what advertisers use to get people to take action, which is how we get people to release adrenaline so that way we can they're looking for a serotonin to satisfy whatever it is that they're looking for, but we don't give it to them unless they schedule an appointment with us. So we basically say, hey, you want that? You got to come here. But now let's put that into context with scripts. The reason I wanted to give you just a slight background is so that way as you're reading these scripts, you know why it works. So let's go through this. So you always want to start off with getting them on their toes like a short dude at a urinal. And what I mean by that is this. Usually when you call, what happens? The business owner says, hello, blah, 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 blah. And usually if you say, hey, my name's so-and-so, how are you doing today? If you ask them a question, what happens is they're expecting you just to go into either exactly what you want as the customer, or they're expecting you to start pitching them right away. But when you ask them, how are you doing today? What it does is it's starting this back and forth conversation dialogue. That's what you want. You don't want it to be all about you talking, and you don't want it to be all about them talking. You want it to be a back and forth. You're asking questions, they're answering. If you can get that conversation going, that is what you want. So we like to do that to them. And a lot of times they're like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? And that's when you can throw out something humorous. Oh, just living the dream, whatever. So, and please keep these scripts as an outline. You don't need to follow them word for word. And actually, I recommend that you don't. Because if you do follow them word for word, then what might happen is you might sound robotic. The only things that I do recommend that you do is add in the how are you doing today. And then also, right here, when I say, I have a question, I'm not sure if you can help me out, but I'm hoping you can. That eliminates the feel that you're in a sales call or spammy, salesy. It kind of gets this conversational, kind of relaxes the whole atmosphere. And also, it's been proven that if you ask for help, people are more likely to help you than if you tell them you can help them, just based off egos. So then you'd say, I have a question. I'm not sure if you can help me out. I'm hoping you can. Say it kind of casual. Then you allow for some sort of acknowledgement. Oh, okay, whatever. Do you guys offer, and let's just say whatever it is. Let's say whoever you're going after chiropractors. You guys offer initial consultations? Yeah. Or if you're going after mortgages, do you guys offer VA loans? Whatever niche you're particularly going after, your team leader gives you, he will give you the offers as to what you should be. Every week he'll be telling you what you should be offering. And then you would say, we get about, and then you give them a specific number. This is where the intrigue comes in. For instance, if you're a loan officer and I say, we get about 80 to 150, and then I get specific. So we get about 80 to 150 people a week who are looking for VA loans every month. And we are looking for a loan officer in Milwaukee to refer them to. Do you guys have the in-house ability to handle that many VA loan clients, VA loan pre-qualification applications each month? Then they might say, well, yeah, I guess so. How are you getting these? Whatever. And then you might I'll go over that in just a second. And then you can say, awesome, this is what I'd like to do. I'm actually just calling on behalf of my boss, Danny, Ross, Isaac, whoever your team leader is. I'm just calling on behalf of my boss. What would be a good time that I could schedule for him to call, let's say, Terry, whoever the business owner is? And then you're setting that up for them. Now, sometimes this is what happens. So I put this here together for you. Let's say that they're like, okay, well, how are you getting these leads? You need to have some sort of story in line. I don't mean a lie, I mean a story. So for instance, up here, I put, these are veterans looking to get pre-qualified for a loan so that a realtor will work with them. So let's say you get to that point and they're like, well, how are you getting these leads? Because we have a lot of places that send us leads, but they're not very good quality. Well, you could say, well, these are actually veterans who are looking to get pre-qualified for a loan so that way a realtor will work with them. And then if they start asking more too deep of information, then you can say, To be honest, I'm the worst person to talk to. I've been assigned to find someone who's interested in taking on these leads, taking on these referrals. Referral is a good word because it doesn't sound so pitchy. It sounds kind of warm. A lot of people try to base their businesses off referrals. It's the same thing. It just sounds better. And so I would really like to just set up an appointment between, the two people who know the most, your boss and my boss, so that way we can get something rolling for them. Then they can understand that. Now, if they absolutely say that you need to send them more information, because some people do, you're going to send them more information in the area that's provided in the members area where you just type in their email. But keep in mind, we never tell them exactly how we get leads until the strategy call. We don't want to release that dopamine or serotonin, otherwise we'll most likely lose them. Like if they're like, hey, so how are you guys getting these leads? Oh, we're on Google and Facebook, and we run them through this page. They're going to be like, oh, they assume they know. Oh, no, you know what? We're not interested in that. But if you're just like, if they say, how are you getting these? And you say, listen, I am just the secretary here. I would love to put you in touch, schedule something where you could actually talk with, with my boss, and he can go over this in much greater detail. Just play dumb to it. It's absolutely fine. But if they want you to send more information, you can send them more information. But we want to try to get an appointment first. If they seem like they're just not interested without more information, then you can send them the more information, which is in its own section if you go through your member site. Now, here's another thing to think of. If they say that and you tell them like, hey, I don't really have anything else that I could send you without scheduling an appointment. Can we get something on the books first? Something like that's good. But if they say no, then put them on a list, and the following day say, hey, I talked to my boss and he said that if you guys need more information, you can just check out this page here, give us a call and let us know, and then just send them the more information page. And then that will, at least you don't look like you caved in or that you were lying to them. You give it a day or so. Okay, guys, so now you understand the scripts, how that's going to work. What'll happen is your team leader will end up giving you your actual custom script for whatever niche it is that you're going after, which is great. So you'll get that. But this here, I just wanted to show you an overall why it works. If you understand a little bit behind the psychology of it, you're going to be set up for success so much better. Cool.